Hi friends, I am Sajid. Now, in this video, I'll be comparing the real-time FPS meter test between the OnePlus 8T versus the POCO X3 device. As you can see, friends, the POCO X3 is the mid-range segment mobile phone, and the OnePlus 8T is a premium end segment smartphone. And both phones, they're having the same kind of 120Hz refresh rate. So another thing is that both phones, they're having the inbuilt FPS meter, so which will be very much useful in case if you're trying to play the games. So right now I'll try to compare both phones inbuilt FPS meter side by side. So let's see which phone has a better advantage in terms of the displaying the real-time FPS meter while playing the games. And in case if you want to know how to enable the real-time FPS meter on both the smartphones, so try to check the links in description for the playlist of each and every smartphone. You can find for the POCO X3 here and the OnePlus 8T here, you can find the video, and which will be very much helpful to you as well in case if you want to know the real-time FPS meter. And first thing is that I did like the POCO X3's real-time FPS meter, no doubt friends. This very much futuristic option which is present in the POCO X3 device, so which will demonstrate very good information using this real-time FPS count meter, as you can see. So the phone has a 120Hz refresh rate, as I said, so which will be showing you the real time decreasing in the FPS count meter. As you can see right now, when you're not using any touch screen, it will decrease to 0 FPS or 1 FPS. As you can see that the refresh rate will decrease, so which will improve the battery life for the long run. So that's a very much useful feature. And as soon as I touch the screen, as you can see, the FPS count will increase up to 120 FPS. Right now you're seeing 118 FPS, 119, 120. As you can see, it's increasing. So when you're touching and scrolling, the FPS count will increase based on your touch input. So that's a very good advantage in terms of seeing the real-time feedback. Another second advantage is that movable FPS count meter. So you cannot move right side, but you can only move in one direction, up or down. That's it. If you use the phone in horizontal, you can move only up or down. So that is another good advantage in terms of the placement of this FPS count meter. So when you're gaming, so definitely this will be very much useful feature, where if there is not fixed FPS count meter, if you want to change, you can actually change this way. So which is a really good option which is present in the POCO X3 device. So this is my most favorite feature of displaying the real-time FPS count meter. And right now I'm playing this 120Hz refresh rate game, so which is really good. I used to use in every gaming test this kind of game, so which is really good and fun to play as well. So right now you can see 120Hz refresh rate, which is clearly displaying over there, as you can see, friends. So these are best features in the POCO X3. So now let me get back to the OnePlus 8T. So in the OnePlus 8T, you do have this kind of option, as you can see, which is displaying the number right now. And one thing is that it is very annoying in this OnePlus 8T. The FPS number will be either staying at the 120 or 60. That's it. It won't decrease and it won't show any other number apart from 120 and 60. I would like used to this kind of POCO X3 FPS count meter real time. So every time I used to check the FPS count meter in every application what I'm using, how much they are utilizing the FPS count. But in the OnePlus 8T, it's not like that. When you're not using the phone, as you can see, it will display the 60, and when you touch, as soon as you touch, the refresh rate will jump to the 120 Hz. So there is another drawback of this FPS count meter. And next is that it's not movable. You cannot move this 120 Hz refresh rate, this FPS monitor. You cannot move anywhere up or down or right or left. So for example, if you open the YouTube application, the FPS count will decrease to 60 FPS. As you can see, 60. And as soon as you close the YouTube application, it will jump to the 120 Hz. So there is only the difference of color, red and green. Green means 120, 60 means red means 60. So one thing is that I am not sure why it's displaying 60 refresh rate only. Same game in the POCO X3, it supports the 120 FPS, but in the OnePlus 8T, it's still showing the 60 FPS, as you can see here, only the red color. As soon as I go back to the normal menu, it will demonstrate the 120 FPS. So there is another kind of not that consistency in terms of maintaining this FPS count. So usually I don't trust this FPS count in the OnePlus, but I really trust this POCO X3's FPS count, which is really good and very much helpful for the most of the users. And one more thing is that not only the FPS count, it will also display the how many touch hertz as well, 120 hertz or 60 hertz, what is touch sampling rate. So that's also another good advantage in the POCO X3 device, as you can see, friends. So most of the companies, they should implement this kind of real-time FPS meter in their mobile phones, which will be really good in case if they include this kind of real-time FPS count meter. So before this real-time FPS count meter, I used to every time swipe to the right side and check the FPS count on the top, as you can see. So this is a way I used to check previously, but after having this real-time FPS count, which is really good, so that I can only focus on gaming most of the time, not concentrating on the notification panel. As you so overall, friends, this real-time FPS count meter, it should also get implemented in the Realme phones as well. So I wish the Realme phones should also have this kind of real-time FPS count meter, because instead of relying on the third-party applications, if you have the default one, that will be the very much useful for most of the users, I think so. So this is a quick real-time FPS count meter features comparison between the POCO X3 versus the OnePlus 8T device. And thank you for watching this video, friends. For more this kind of similar videos, make sure to follow me regularly, and don't forget to check the links in description for more details. And that's it, friends. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, bye.